Hari Om. My pranams to all the divine Atmajotis who have joined us today for this Gita session. Let us start this satsang with a few prayers. Please close your eyes, fold your hands, keep your back straight. There will be no repetition, hence please chant along with me, but with your mics on mute. Om. 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 Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Salutations to the divine in all beings. Om Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Guru is the creator. Guru is the perceiver. Guru is the transformer. Guru is the absolute Lord himself. Narayana Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Parampara. Beginning with Narayana, through Adi Shankaracharya in between and up to my own preceptor, I bow with reverence to the entire tradition of preceptors, beginning with Sadashiva, through Adi Shankaracharya in between and up to my own preceptors. I bow with reverence to the entire tradition of preceptors. Dhyanamoolam Gururmurti, Pooja-moolam Gururpadam, Mantra-moolam Gururvakyam, Moksha-moolam Gururkripa. The root of meditation is the form of the Guru. The root of worship is the feet of the Guru. The root of mantra is the word of the Guru. And the root of liberation is the grace of the Guru. Shri Guru is the root of salvation. Om Bhur Bhuvasvaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bargho Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. Om, the one pervading all three spaces, earth, space, and beyond. I meditate upon that divine light, the one who is the source of light to sun, and may that light awaken my intellect. I bow down and welcome all of you to today's Bhagavad Gita Satsang. The Bhagavad Gita Satsang usually begins with the prayer, like how we did today. And through the prayer, we invoke the divine. We request the divine to show us the right path. And in this right path, and once we come into this right path and where the divine is showing and guiding us towards this light of knowledge, that is our own identity, we get into the chanting and contemplation of the Bhagavad Gita shlokas. But in order to be able to understand the Bhagavad Gita shlokas and to be able to put those lessons from the Gita into our lives and to be able to follow the same throughout, we need to get our mind into a state of utmost focus and concentration. And to do this, there are many such processes or some kind of steps that you can follow to get into this zone of focus and concentration. But that one practice that we've been learning over the past few sessions is the Gayatri Dhyana. In the Gayatri Dhyana, we chant the Gayatri mantra 9 times. Once we are done chanting, we sit in silence for a few moments. Now I request all of you, please sit straight, keep your back erect, bring both your legs together, place your hands comfortably on your thighs, slightly bend your head upwards like this, and you close your eyes and focus to this part of your forehead, which is on your center, the same place where you place your bindi, the center of your forehead above the eyes. Now look at that part, and this part, I'll tell you, is called the Agnya Chakra. In our body, we have many such energy centers, and the Agnya Chakra is one such important energy center. It is also the seat of higher intelligence, and we get our intuition from this Agnya Chakra. Here, see the presence of Surya Bhagavan. Offer your respects and gratitude to Surya Bhagavan. Now, with the same feeling of respect and gratitude, let us chant the Gayatri mantra for 9 times, and once we are done chanting, we will continue to sit in silence. Please be on mute and chant along with me. Om Bhur Bhuvasvaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuvasvaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuvasvaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuvasvaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuvasvaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuvasvaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuvasvaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuvasvaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuvasvaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuvasvaha तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. Please stay in this natural silence for a few more moments. Notice how silent and peaceful your mind has become. This silent state of mind is like a clean whiteboard. Let us write the most meaningful sentences of your life on this board. See yourself as a happy, healthy, peaceful, courageous, energetic, content, and a truthful being who brings out the best qualities from within and also helps around to bring out their inner best. Now, see your family members, mother, father, brothers, sisters, grandparents. See all your family members happy, healthy, and peaceful. See your friends, relatives, neighbors, teachers, and all the known people. See all of them as happy, healthy, and peaceful beings. Now see all the people in the world, whether you know them or not. See all of them as happy, healthy, and peaceful beings. Now, see the existence as a whole. The birds, animals, plants, rivers, mountains, stars, the galaxies. See the entire existence as a happy, healthy, and peaceful existence. And in this divine and wonderful existence, once again see yourself as a happy, healthy, peaceful, courageous, energetic, truthful being who brings out the best qualities from within and also helps others around to bring out their inner best. Now, become aware of your breath. Become aware of your body. And become aware of your surroundings. Gently scrub your palms. Give warmth to your eyes. Let us all offer respects and gratitude to all the divine Atmajyotis who are present here today. Gently open your eyes. Before we take the next step, does any one of you have any doubt related to this practice? Okay. I see that there are no questions. Yes, Vijayji.
So we have new children who are joining us today. So let us welcome them all. We have Shriyans, Raghavi, and Shreyas. So all of us, let us welcome all of them. Hari Om, and welcome to our Gita Satsang.
Hari Om. Hari Om, sir.
Now comes the most awaited part of the session. Something that all of you were waiting curiously from 1 week. I received so many messages that you weren't able to wait to know what happened next in the story. So let's get into the story time. So welcome you all again to the Gayatri Trilogy, episode 2. So we start our story sessions directly with some exciting stories. But here's a twist, just in the beginning. We're not going to start with the narration of the story. But first, I have a challenge for all of you. Who's going to take up the challenge? Okay, I know it's hard to accept a challenge before knowing what the challenge is in the first place. Let me first reveal that challenge to you and let me see how many brave iLeaders are going to take up this challenge. The challenge is, let's recap in 30 seconds. So we have a timer here which will count down from 30. And all of you will raise your hand who is interested in this challenge, and one of you will get the chance to take up this challenge where you need to recap and narrate the story that we listened to in the last class until where we've reached till now. But just in 30 seconds, who's gonna do this? I see that Snigdha and Kirtana have raised their hands, but Kirtana raised her hand first. So let's go with Kirtana and we'll give chance for Snigdha in the next class. So be prepared, Snigdha. Now, Kirtana, yes, your time starts in 3, 2, 1.
So there was a king called King Kaushika. He was from the Kusha dynasty. So once, like he was going hunting with all his soldiers. There were many soldiers, and all the soldiers were tired and they needed water, but there were many soldiers. So then they visited sage Vasishtha, and then astonishingly, sage Vasishtha fed all of them. And then the King Kaushika figured out that it was because of his cow Nandini. So King Kaushika wanted that cow.
Excellent. Amazing, Kirtana. Very good. So, right, you finished the challenge in 30 seconds. That's really nice. And we were at that point where the war had begun. That is, King Kaushik sent his entire Akshahuni of soldiers towards the cow, Nandini. Here, Kaushika has one Akshahuni, that is so many soldiers, and this huge army is running towards this ashram. Now, what happens? We all know that Nandini is the wish-full cow. If she can fulfill others' wish, why can't she fulfill her own wish? So what she does here is she generates millions of soldiers. She starts generating so many soldiers that one big Akshahuni of soldiers becomes so tiny in front of these millions and millions of soldiers that Nandini just created. Now the war ensues, but then within seconds, King Kaushika's army is destroyed because the army created by Nandini is so big and so large. Now King Kaushika feels very sad and he's so angry. His entire army is destroyed in front of his eyes. What is he going to do now? He can't do anything because now Nandini isn't coming, and his strength, his confidence, his courage, his army, it's gone. It's vanished into some dust particles. So now he's just angry and sad, and he goes back home. And in his home are his sons waiting. Okay, father is gonna now narrate some exciting stories from his hunting episode. And they say, Father, what's this story? What did you hunt? What did you see in the forest? But then they see that their father is so sad. He's in no mood. And now they know that if they ask him one more question, then he's just going to whack them and shoo them away. So his sons go to some of the one of these soldiers or the close minister who had accompanied King Kaushik, but he'd survived the war. He asks him what happened, and this close minister, he narrates the entire episode. Now these sons, in a fit of rage, run towards the sage Vasishta's ashram. And these sons don't go alone. They're smarter. This time they take their entire army. So many Akshahunis. Can Nandini create those many armies? They are sure that she can't create. But because they don't know Nandini's power, but they just take the entire army and rush towards Sage Vasishta's ashram. But this time Sage Vasishta is not going to take anything from them. He straight away angrily says that please go away from here because my daughter, she's not interested in coming with you. But then the sons are very stubborn to make their father feel proud of them. So they order their army to run towards Vasishta. And did you know what Vasishta did? This time it wasn't Nandini who saved them. It was Sage Vasishta himself. He just uttered one syllable of an entire mantra, just one syllable. And all the army and its entire soldiers, it all vanished in just 1 second. And the sons were searching, where did the army go? Where did all the soldiers disappear? Where? They were so perplexed, and this time they were so scared that this is not something I can deal with, and they all ran back home. Hearing to all of this, King Kaushik understood one thing. In front of cow Nandini or in front of sage Vasishta's divine powers that he's attained due to his spiritual practices, his army, his materialistic possessions, all of them go in vain. They're no match. So here, King Kaushik takes an oath. I am going to become a rishi. I'll gather all the divine astras and then attack on Sage Vasishta. So here he goes to Lord Shiva and prays. Oh Lord Shiva, please grant me a boon. And he starts doing a deep penance and he starts meditating for months and months and months. And one day, Lord Shiva appears. He asks, yes, King Kaushik, what do you want? So King Kaushik says, please give me the knowledge of all the divine astras and give me such a power that I should be able to destroy anybody with these divine astras. So Lord Shiva gives all of this knowledge to King Kaushik. And King Kaushik angrily starts walking and still happy and angry, both a mix-up emotion. He goes, now let me see how Sage Vashishta will be able to stand in front of him. Not seconds. I will put all my divine astras in front of him. He rushes towards Sage Vashishta's ashram. And there he sees that Sage Vashishta isn't around. But he is very angry. So he burns Sage Vashishta's ashram. And hearing this, Sage Vashishta comes running towards his ashram. He sees the state of his ashram. He feels very sad. All the animals and all the birds that he placed inside the ashram, they were all running outside. All his disciples and devotees, whom he considered as his own son, they were all sitting outside and crying. This made him very sad. Until now, Sage Vashishta thought that King Kaushik had no knowledge. He was just acting like some foolish child, and that's the reason he kept forgiving him. But now, Sage Vashishta was deeply saddened. So he angrily asks, enough is enough. Stop all of this, and now you are not going to get Nandini, so please go away from here and stop disturbing us. But here, what this King Kaushika does is, he takes all of his Daivi Astras and once he sends all of them towards the Sage Vashishta. And do you know what Sage Vashishta did? He did not utter a single mantra. He did not let Nandini let some divine astras or generate some more soldiers. He just holds his Brahma Danda on top. And that Brahma Danda, or a divine staff, it has a lot of power. It is said that many of the meditative powers that they receive through this deep penance and all the other spiritual powers, even the staff shares along with that person who does this. So now this divine astra somehow magically absorbs all of this divine astras that Sage Vashishta is sending. So this divine staff is absorbing everything. And definitely the divine astras of King Kaushika is of no use. Now he was called as a Raja Rishi. What does that mean? Raja Rishi. So someone who was a king has now become a sage. But now Sage Vashishta had made King Kaushika realize that you cannot defeat Sage Vashishta just by some penance or with the help of some divine astras. He needs to become a Brahma Rishi himself. Like how Sage Vashishta is a Brahma Rishi. But who is a Brahma Rishi? A Brahma Rishi is the one who realizes the Brahman. Who's the Brahman? Brahman is the divine light. And what is there to realize about this divine light? The realization is that I myself am this divine light. I am that Tattvamasi. This is the realization. And this is not something that you can listen and understand, but something that you need to experience through this process, and then you will be able to believe. And that is what Sage Vashishta had been through. And it was not possible for King Kaushika to defeat Sage Vashishta. So here he sets out to some deep penance. A wonderful story that comes in between. There is a king called King Trishanku. He is a disciple of Sage Vashishta. So one day he comes to the Sage Vashishta and he says, "Oh sage, I have a wish. I want to go to heaven, but with this worldly body. Can you please send me, oh Guru?" But then Sage Vashishta says that this is against the nature that we gods have given us, and this is against the laws that is set by them. So this is not possible. But then he keeps pleading, but Sage Vashishta firmly says no. But one day, this King Trishanku, he goes to this now sage, but before king, the Sage Kaushika, as we will now call him. So now Sage Kaushika, he first listens to Trishanku's story. And here Trishanku tells that he not only begged Vashishta, but he'd also begged some of the disciples to do this for him. But the disciples got so angry because Trishanku was saying, "You do it, or I'll go to some other guru. I'll take him as my guru. I'll accept that, and then he will send me. Now you do it, or I'll get it done by somebody else." So the disciples get so angry. First of all, our father says, "Vashishta has already denied you, and now you're being such a foolish person. You're ready to give up your guru, change him, and disrespect him just for some foolish desire of yours." So they curse him to become a very ugly person that nobody can identify as a king, that someone would outcast him and nobody would ever talk to him again. Now King Trishanku, who's out of this entire ashram, he goes to his kingdom, and there the soldiers don't recognize him. Instead, they kick him out of the kingdom. And this entire situation, he narrates it to Sage Kaushik. Now, Sage Kaushik listens to it. He feels a little sad for King Trishanku. So he decides to do it. But when he realizes that he was the guru of Sage Vashishta before, that's when he knows that, yes, this time I have to do it, because I have to always go against Sage Vashishta and I always have to do something wrong. So I'm going to do that. So he performs another huge yajna where he invites everybody to come, and everybody comes to that yajna, this special yajna where someone can go to heaven with their worldly body. But some people don't turn up. Who are they? It says Vashishta and few of his disciples. But leaving all of this, he still says, "Come on, let's do this yajna." When he does this yajna, he performs this yajna in such a grand way that all the devatas also start watching it. And at the same time, he sends Trishanku to heaven. But at the very moment when he was supposed to enter heaven, Indra pushes him back to earth. Now, just as he was about to fall on earth, Sage Kaushik becomes very angry and he says, "Stop." Now, Trishanku is stuck between heaven and earth and he has nowhere to go. Now, what will happen to Trishanku? How is he going to escape this situation? This we are going to continue in some other session. So now that we have something for you to think about, we will go in much depth into this story some other time. Now that you've understood that this particular sage Kaushik has so many distractions. So first of all, he understands that due to this yajna, he has lost all of his meditative powers. Everything is gone. So he starts meditating again, leaving all of his distractions. Now Indra sees this foolish sage, as soon as he gets any power, he's going to use it to do something wrong and go against the nature. So let us distract him nicely. So he sends a beautiful dancer who dances so well that anybody wants to see her dance. And her name is Apsara Menake. So now she starts dancing and her anklets music also distract Sage Kaushik. And he immediately gets distracted and looks at her. And he realizes that again, all of his meditative powers are gone. Now he overcomes this desire. And then he's again meditating. Now Indra knows that. So have you observed that when a rat gets into your house, you apply various methods to send it out. And one method, let's say, lets it go out. Now, when you see another rat come in, you know that you'll have to do the same thing again. So Indra does the same thing. He sends another Apsara. Her name is Rambe. But this time, he does not get distracted. But then once his meditation is done, he opens his eyes and he sees Rambe. And he gets very angry on her. "How dare you come and disrupt my meditation?" So he curses her. Now he realizes that all of his meditative powers are gone again. Why? Because of anger. So now he tries to get rid of anger. Like this, slowly, step by step, one step at a time, he gets rid of all the Arishad Vargas. which is Kama, Krodha, Labha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, which means desire, anger, greed, ego, attachment, and partiality. One by one, he gets rid of all of them and he gets the title of Maharishi. But this doesn't stop him because he wants to be a Brahmarishi. So he starts meditating seriously. He gives up food, then he gives up water, then he even stops breathing. He gives up everything. Nothing can stop him from meditation. Here, we know that Indra tried to disrupt his meditations many times. But why? Is he really scared of this sage or what he's going to do after? The only reason why Indra does this is to test whether this particular person is really eligible to be called as a Brahmarishi or not. So Indra, just like how he does always, comes in the form of a sage. Now sage Kaushika, who just completed his meditation, comes up and he's fasted for many months, like I told you. He's not drank some water, he hasn't eaten food. Now that he's completed this for a period of time that he decided, he opens his eyes and he collects some food. And just as he was about to keep that one morsel of food into his mouth, King Indra comes in form of a beggar or a rishi. He comes and begs in front of King Kaushika, saying, please give me some food, I haven't eaten for months. Will this sage Kaushika give him the food and pass the test? Or will he still become and get into this trap of these worldly desires and emotions, and will he not be able to control his hunger and eat the food and deny this hungry person from food? Will he pass the test? And if he passes the test, will he become a Brahmarishi? Or are there many other tests that are coming up? And if he passes all of them and becomes a Brahmarishi, will there be another war between sage Vashishta and sage Kaushika? Know all of this in the coming session, which is the next Monday, where we will continue the story. And that is the last episode of Gayatri Trilogy. Now we come to the second part of the Gayatri Trilogy. In this section, we call it the Chant It Right. I know all of you have chanted the Gayatri Mantra hundreds of times before. And in this session itself, you've chanted it 9 to 10 times. But have you ever wondered, are you chanting it the correct way? Is your pronunciation right? Let all your doubts fly away, because now we're going to see if you're chanting it right. Before we begin, you will observe that it's written in Sanskrit and the second line is written in English. In Sanskrit, we have no problem because the way it is written, you just have to read it. But then these Sanskrit shlokas, they're so into detail that English as a language, you just cannot use the language to tell you how to pronounce it. That's the reason I have given you some capital letters and some small letters. So these capital letters you've got to stretch. And the letters which have after it, like this bha and this dha, you'll have to take it into the Mahaprana, not ba or the, bha and dha. If you have any confusion, you can place your palm in front of your mouth and see if you can feel the air coming out on your palm. So if you feel the air, then it's Mahaprana. Now I want to ask, who wants to be the lucky person who's going to chant after this? Okay, yes, Vidisha. So now I'm going to chant and Vidisha is going to chant after me and all of you are going to chant along with Vidisha. Show me a thumbs up if you got this. Great. Now let us hold our hands, sit straight and you can chant after me. Om.
Om.
Bhur.
Bhur.
Bhuvasvaha.
Bhuvasvaha.
Tat.
tat
savitur
savitur
varenyam
varenyam
bhargo
bhargo
devasya dhimahi
devasya dhimahi
dhiyo yonah
dhiyo yonah
prachodayat.
prachodayat.
Excellent, Isha. Very good, everybody. Now, all of you can chant with me once without any breaks in between. Om Bhur Bhuvasvaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. Thank you, everybody, for the wonderful session. Now, let us quickly get into this final section of the quiz time. We're going to finish it really quick because I know all of you are so fast and so smart. The first question: who wished to go to heaven? Duryodhana, Trishanku, Arjuna, or Vikram? Raise your hand. The first hand I saw is Snigda's. Yes, Snigda, what's your answer?
Trishanku.
Excellent. Very good. Very good, Snigda. It's Trishanku. The next question. Raise your hands faster this time. Who wanted to test Kaushik? Indra, Surya, Chandra, or both Indra and Surya? Okay, yes, Shriyans. Go ahead. What's the answer?
A. Indra.
Very good, Shriyans. It's Indra. The third and final question. Raise your hand if you know the answer. Which title did Kaushik want to acquire? Rishi, Raja Rishi, Maharishi, or Brahma Rishi? The first hand I saw is Shreyas. Yes, Shreyas, go ahead. What's your answer?
Option D. Brahma Rishi.
Very good, Shreyas. Excellent. So the correct answer is Brahma Rishi. A huge round of applause to everybody, the ones who answered and the ones who had the answer in your mind but could not answer, and also the ones who listened to the story. Good job, everybody. Now let us move forward to the most important section of today's session. That is the Bhagavad Gita Shloka of the week with its chanting and contemplation. I request iLeader Aditya to please guide us.
Before we begin, it's 7:50. Is it okay if the class extends by 10 minutes today? Is it okay for every one of you?
Vijay,
Yes.
I have like a class at 8. Can I go now?
Okay, Pramukh. How about others? Does anyone? Okay, all of you are okay?
Yes, Vijay. Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. Then, yeah, I request Aditya to take the shloka.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, hope you're all doing good. Before I start, could I have a volunteer to chant the shloka with me?
Can I? Sir, can I?
I saw Vaishnavi's hand first. Vaishnavi, would you chant after me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'll tell one line and then you repeat after me.
Okay.
Everybody, close your eyes. Put your hands in Namaste. Om Mātrā-sparśhās.
Om Mātrā-sparśhās.
Kaunteya.
Kaunteya.
Shitoshna.
Shitoshna.
Sukha-dukkhadah.
Sukha-dukkhadah.
Agama-payino.
Agama-payino.
Nityas.
Nityas.
Tam stitikshasva bharata.
तां तितिक्षस्व भारत.
Awesome. I'll repeat it one more time, and you can repeat it. Mātrā-sparśhās
मात्रा-स्पर्शास्तु
Kaunteya
कौन्तेय
Shītoshna
शीतोष्ण
Sukha-dukkhadah
सुखदुःखदाः
Agama-payino
आगमापायिनो
Nityās
नित्यास्
Tam Stitikshasva Bharata.
तां स्थितिक्षस्व भारत.
Thank you, Vaishnavi. Now, I had a small story to explain this shloka a little. Okay. So this is the meaning. We'll get back to this later on. So first, let's say there are two boys, Dolu and Bolu. Dolu and Bolu are brothers, and Dolu and Bolu have a business. Their parents own a business of jewelry, and their business is really big, and they sell a lot, and they make a lot of money. Now, Dolu and Bolu love reading, but they read different books. Dolu, the person who reads Bhagavad Gita, loves to read Bhagavad Gita and other books, and he loves to help people. But Bolu, he is a little different from his brother. He loves to read books on economics and making money and stuff like that. So these both Dolu and Bolu, they grow their interests and they read books of different kinds. And as they grow up, they eventually cultivate these books into their lives, and they have different interests. So Dolu, he loves to help people because of the books he likes to read. But Bolu, he has slightly different interests. He loves to make money. He loves to buy cars. He loves to have a big house. So these things become what they are as they grow up into adults. So Dolu and Bolu become really different people, even though they're both siblings. And their father's business eventually comes down to both of them. But one day they find out that their business is not doing so well, and they have to pay a lot of money to the bank. But Dolu and Bolu, Dolu, he knows that since he reads the Bhagavad Gita, he knows that this is all temporary, and he loves to help others. So he doesn't have a big problem with the money situation. But Bolu, he has a lot of attachment to his money. He loves to spend money on different things, and he gets really sad. He starts crying every day, and he doesn't know what to do about this money situation. So what is Krishna saying? What is this story related to the shloka? Basically, we can say mātrā-sparśhās kaunteya. O son of Kunti, the contact between the senses and the sense objects. So like how Bolu was attached to his objects, to his car, to his money, like that, Shītoshna Sukha Dukkhadah Agama-payino. Like that, winter and summer come and go. So does happiness and sorrow. So like the happiness Bolu got from his books and from his money and from his cars, that is all temporary, comes and goes. So when the thing came from the bank for them to pay up, Dolu was really sad, so he had to pay up. So like this, Tam Stitikshasva Bharata, one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. So like how the younger brother who was reading Bhagavad Gita, he was not at all disturbed by what came from the bank to pay the money. Like that, we should cultivate these qualities in us to not be disturbed by objects and other sense objects. Okay, that's what I needed to share. Does anyone have questions about this? Okay, Shriyans, do you have a question?
No, sorry, I accidentally raised my hand.
Okay, if no one has a question, could we go in a round and share what we understood from the story and the shloka? Okay, Vaishnavi, could you go?
Yes, we should focus on our own work. We should not go to others' work.
Okay, and where did you get that from?
We should I got it from the both in this word to word meaning in
Huh,
this shloka.
that is true, but the message of the story was actually that was slightly different. What you said is true, but the message was that we shouldn't be attached to our objects or the money or stuff like that. We should be like the brother who read Bhagavad Gita.
And we should not in the story you told, I understood this, we should not get distracted or disturbed by money.
Yeah, true. Not only money, but any other object. True.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vaishnavi. Thank you. Shriyansh?
So I understood that from the story and the shloka that you should not get attached to any worldly objects. It can be money, it can be toys, maybe it can be what do you do? It can be anything. So you shouldn't get attached, and you should stay detached and not worry. As in, like, yes, you shouldn't like worry too much about external objects, and yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Shriyansh. Vidisha?
Yes, what I understood from this shloka is that, like, how whatever, like, suppose today I have some toy, tomorrow I might give it away because I have become big, so I don't play with that. So that might be somebody else's tomorrow. So the things just pass away, and time just pass away. So yeah, like how it's written, like winter and summer come and go. Like, that only happiness and sorrow does.
Exactly. Thank you, Vidisha. That was awesome. Kirtana?
Yeah, what I understood is that just like winter and summer come and go, just like that happiness and sorrow also comes and goes, and it isn't permanent. So if we have any problem, we should learn to tolerate, and we shouldn't get disturbed because the problems are not permanent and they are just temporary. So the problems won't stay forever. So we shouldn't get disturbed from those problems.
Exactly. Thank you, Kirtana. That was really well explained. Snigdha?
Yeah, so I would like to share an example. Let's say, for example,
Snigdha, your voice isn't clear.
so okay, I would like to share an example.
Yeah.
So let's say, for example, you're walking on the street and then you see like a toy, a fallen toy at the ground. So then you're like, oh my god, this toy is really pretty. So you take the toy and then you like play with it every day. But
Yeah.
then suddenly there'll be a girl. She'll be walking in the streets crying. And you ask her what happened, she'll be like, then she'll see the toy that you're holding in your hand, and then she'll be like, no, this toy is mine. But then you have no choice, because if you give it back, she's not like asking to get it.
Snigdha, your voice is breaking again.
So should I explain it again?
No, just could you just the last part?
So when the part where she saw the girl cry.
Yeah, I can't hear you again.
So when you'll be playing with your toy, and then when you see a girl on the streets who's crying, and then when you ask her what happened, and then she suddenly sees the toy in your hand, and then she starts saying that toy is mine, give it back.
Yeah.
And then you suddenly be like what, like you may start crying, or you may be like, no, this toy is mine. Yeah, but if you give it back, she won't start like asking you again, can I have that toy?
So like you also may get the same toy like in the future. So there's no need to worry about the toy that you've got. Give it back, and like if you be kind to her, then you can also get something back.
Yeah, true. So essentially what you're saying is we shouldn't be attached to that toy and
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. Yeah. Thank you, Snigdha. Thank you.
Okay.
Raghavi?
Yeah, so from this mantra, I learned that we shouldn't be attached to anything. Everything is temporary. Even sorrow is temporary and it shall pass. How seasons pass from winter to summer. And we should learn to tolerate our difficulties and not be disturbed as we lose hope, because even those are temporary and they shall pass soon.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you, Raghavi. That's really well explained. Who else? Is anyone remaining? Shreyas, could you share your understanding?
Yes, I learned like we if
Okay, no
like
problem. If it's hard for you to explain, we can you can tell next time. No problem.
okay.
Okay. That's the end of the contemplation. Now Manya will continue. Thank you, everyone.
I request Kirtana to please help us all discuss about the iLead module that all of us watched this week, and we enjoyed so much the lesson and the quiz both.
Yeah, I hope everyone have watched the lesson 2 of the iLead lesson. So if anyone wants to share their understanding, they can raise their hands about what you learned about the lesson 2. Okay. If Snigdha has watched, can you share your understanding, Snigdha?
Actually, I didn't really watch it. I have to watch it.
Okay, anyone who have watched can raise your hands and can share your understandings.
Can I share my understandings?
Yeah, go ahead.
In lesson 2, I understand it is the topic was Avatar. I saw the video and attended the quiz. The Avatar was so nice. It's like God taking human form, like he's entering a form, and it's not like he's playing. He is what do we say it? He is taking form in animals also, in humans also. That's what I understood.
Wow, Vidisha, excellent. Anyone else who wants to share their understanding? Okay, anyone who have watched the video? Yeah, sure.
My understanding was in the video, of course, it was about our and it was about how different forms can be one. It's like I think Prabhuji gave a different explanation some other time, but it's about golds. If whether you make it into a ring, you make it into a necklace, you make it into, it's all the same. It's golds. Just like that, Brahman manifests into many people, everyone, and manifests into many different forms. Just like that, it's just Brahman. Yes. It's just one.
Very good thing. So basically from this video, we learn how God takes avatar. So if anyone else wants to share their understanding, they can go ahead, or else.
So you're talking about like how God takes avatar, right?
Yeah, in the lesson 2, we've all learned that why God takes avatar, like Prabhuji has explained it very well. So if you watch that video, you can share your understanding.
Okay. Actually, I think I watched it, but I think I again forgot. But I'll just say like what I remember about it.
Kirtana. Can I say it?
But I think I have what do you say? Watch the video and I'll just say whatever I remembered about it.
Can
Okay.
I think Prabhuji told the same thing that Shreya had told in the video. Like, I feel like that because I don't really remember the video.
I remember now, Kirtana. Prabhuji had said about how he'd explained a story about it was about Akbar and Birbal. So one day Akbar asked Birbal, why does God take avatars and doesn't just send his servants to help the people? And then Birbal played a trick on him to show him why. So what happened is, both of them were walking down a river. One, Akbar saw his son in the water drowning. Immediately, Akbar took off his clothes and jumped into the river. But when he saw, it was just a dummy. What do you call it? Yes, a dummy. When he came out, he was very angry at Birbal for playing a trick on him. But then Birbal explained, "Oh Majesty, you asked why God takes avatars to help his people. You see, when your son is drowning, you go yourself. You don't send your servants to go and help him, do you?" And then Akbar said, "Of course not. I'll save my son by myself." And then we will explain, yes, exactly how you save your son by yourself. God also takes avatars and helps his children, the people, himself, and doesn't just send his servants to go and help them. So that was what I understood from the story. That is why
Good students. Now I hand it over to Manya.
Amazing story, Shreyans, and the way you could recollect all of the Prabhuji's talks that you had heard before, and you were able to connect it to what we're discussing today. Truly amazing.
For the benefit of the newcomers, so there is a series of videos under the title of iLeader Learning that Kirtana would be sharing in the group. So those of you who have joined the group recently, you will be seeing that message come on every Wednesday and Saturday, and you can also take those lessons. So what today all of them discussed is the second lesson from the first module. So far 2 lessons have been shared. I'm sharing this for the benefit of Shreyas and Raghavi. Yeah. So you can start taking those lessons. These are very short lessons, 10 minutes, and a quiz is also there. And through that, you will be learning iLeader program. Yeah? iLeader program is a 4-stage program to bring out the leadership within you. Yes, Manya.
Excellent, everybody. All of you could share your understanding on the lesson 2. We would move to the ending prayers, but before we do that, I have another challenge for you. I want any one of you is interested to tell me the 10 avatars of Lord Vishnu in the next class. So you have a week's time to find out the 10 avatars. I know some of you already know the avatars, but we will do that in the next session. I request Namit to please guide us through the closing prayers.
Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya. This shloka means that Om, lead me from untruth, which is ignorance, to truth, darkness to light, impermanence, which is death, to permanence, and then immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, that is complete. This is complete. When completeness is removed from completeness, what remains is complete. When completeness is added to completeness, totality remains complete. Om, peace, peace, peace. ನಾನು ನಾನೆಂಬುದು ನಾನಲ್ಲ ಇದೇಹ ಮನಬುದ್ಧಿ ನಾನಲ್ಲ ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದಾತ್ಮ ಶಿವನಾನು ನಾನೇ ಶಿವೋಹಂ ಶಿವೋಹಂ ಶಿವೋಹಂ. I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the intellect, I'm pure consciousness, Shiva Swarupi. Antarjyoti Bahirjyoti Pratyajyoti Paratparaha Jyotirjyoti Swayam Jyoti Atmajyoti Shivosmyaham. I am supreme light of awareness, illuminating the outer world of objects, inner world of thoughts, and deep sleep state. I am the divine light of this nature of auspiciousness, Shiva Swarupi. Atmadarshanam, Brahmadarshanam, Madarshanam, Satyadarshanam. Recognition of the self is recognition of the whole. Recognition of the whole is recognition of truth. Om Sahanavavatu Sahanau Gunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, may we all be protected, may we all be nourished, may we work together sharing our energy. May our intellect be sharpened, may we be friends forever. Om, peace, peace, peace. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkhabhag Bhavet. Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, may we all be prosperous and happy. May we all be free from illness. May all see what is uplifting. May no one suffer. May there be well-being. May there be peace in all. May there be completeness in all. May there be auspicious in all. Om, peace, peace, peace. Lokaha samastaha sukhino bhavantu. Lokaha samastaha sukhino bhavantu. Lokaha samastaha sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy, healthy, and peaceful. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hari Om to all the Atmajyotis. Thank you for attending today's session.
Thank you all. Hari Om. See you all
Hari Om.
next Monday. Hari Om.
Hari
Hari Om Vijay.
Hari Om Vijay.
Vijay ji.